You can either choose to suffer or you can have gratitude in the challenge that you're having right now. If you are going through something and you're continuously racking your brain on how things are going to get done, how things are going to get paid, how things are going to get fixed, then what you're doing is you're putting up a block between what's meant for you and what you're meant to receive. And then it's you choosing to suffer instead of trusting that the divine, that God, the Most High, whatever you believe in, is just working things out for you. We always say, have faith, have trust. But when it's time to have faith and have trust, we don't believe in it. We choose the exact opposite. We choose to suffer. We choose to allow for our challenges to have power over us. We choose to allow for the things that we can't control to control us, to control our feelings. But if you take your emotions out of it, if you take the worry out of it, you take your ego out of it, then the challenge becomes that much easier because you understand that it's just a challenge. You understand that life is full of ebbs and flows. Nothing is always going to be on the up and up. Sometimes you're going to have lows. Sometimes things are going to happen in your life that are unfavorable. But how you choose to react and respond to whatever challenge it is that you're facing determines everything. And it also determines how you go through challenges from here on out. I had car trouble this week. And if you've ever experienced car trouble, then you know how frustrating it can be. Not knowing how you're going to get places, especially if you're like me and you live in a city where you don't really have much support. And you know, for me, I'm my only source of everything. So if I don't have it, if I'm not able to drive, if I'm not able to get to work, then nothing gets done. So I'm like my only source of reliance, I guess. But that's how I used to think. Up until this happened, I had so much support around me. I had so many people around me that, that I know and love, and people that I barely know that were trying to help me, that wanted to help me, that waived fees for me that would have cost me a fortune, who did things for me for free because they just wanted to help me. But that's why I know I'm doing the right thing and I'm putting out the right vibes, because those vibes come right back to me. When you're a good person, when you are on a frequency of love and on a frequency of giving, on a frequency of gratitude, things like that just happen to you. And there were people like in my apartment helping me. I don't know these people from a can of paint. And they were offering their assistance to me. I don't know, maybe I looked like I really needed help. But either way, I had my friends helping me, taking me back and forth to work, or taking me to see about my car or whatever. I had support. But I could have chosen to feel like I had to do this alone. I could have chosen to do this alone like I have in the past. But I didn't choose that this time. I also could have chosen to suffer throughout this whole process, because at one point I didn't really know what was wrong with my car. It was one thing or the other. And one thing was going to cost me a fortune. The other thing wasn't going to cost that much. And it ended up being the other thing that didn't cost me that much. I chose to believe that it is what it is. And whatever it is, I'm covered. I'm protected. I know I can do this. Something will work out for me that will literally help me. And I chose to believe that. Or I could have chosen to continuously Google the symptoms my car was having. I could have continuously sought validation from other people. And there's nothing wrong with seeking validation, asking for advice or opinions, especially if, you know, there is something that you just really want to know. But one thing that I used to do is I used to create my own suffering by allowing for the situation, for the challenge to have more power over me than I did of it. I am in control of the challenge. I have more power over this challenge. It's just a challenge. And I trust that God, the Most High, whoever you subscribe to, is going to see me through. I trust myself to help me get to the next step, to help me keep moving forward. I kept the best attitude throughout this whole thing, and I constantly stayed in a state of gratitude, because if I had let myself lower my frequency, if I had let myself get into a space where I'm super sad and I don't know what to do, in a state of confusion, nothing would have come to me with ease as it did. Because I've been in those states before where I worried, I Googled, I sought validation, I didn't know what to do, I longed for support, I felt like I was defeated. You know, I've been in those spaces before. But it felt so good this time to just let things be and just know that I'm going to be okay. I'm not going to be defeated, you know? So I say all that to say, don't let your challenge defeat you. You're supposed to defeat the challenge. It's just like going on a game show. Are you going to let the game play you, or are you going to play the game? You know, like it could really be simple, but we as humans choose to suffer. So what are you going to choose the next time you're going through something? What are you going to choose the next time you run into a situation that is unexpected and also unfavorable? What are you going to do? Are you going to choose to let that situation have power over you? Or are you going to understand that it's just a situation, it's just a challenge? Hold on to your power, hold on to your sanity, and let that challenge work itself out, because it always does. If you notice the patterns in your life, if you notice and understand how God works, if you've ever experienced God at all, you know that everything literally just works itself out. And you realize that in this process, you suffered for no reason. You worried for no reason. We always say, trust, have faith. But when it's time to have faith and when it's time to have trust, we don't know how to. We say it and we might feel it a little bit, but we don't know how to have faith. Faith and trust is an action. It's something that you do. It's also something that you feel, but faith without action, without actually having that faith and putting that faith forward by trusting, by letting go, detaching from the situation, because there's nothing you can do. The situation is what it is. And you just have to understand that if you really have trust, and even if it would have taken days or weeks for me to get my car fixed or get the money or whatever, then it just would have been what it is. Yes, it would have been uncomfortable. It would have been really uncomfortable, because it was sort of uncomfortable for the couple of days that I was without transportation, on my own anyway. But within those days, I found peace within myself still. I still moved on with my life. I didn't let it affect me as bad as I could have, simply because I know that I have to support myself. And if I'm not able to do the thing or get to work or whatever, then it affects my livelihood. But because I had such great people around me, I chose to focus on that. I chose to focus on the support that I had. I chose to focus on the things that I did have. I was grateful that before my car went dead, that I went to the grocery store for the week. Because before that, I didn't have no groceries. So I would have been out of groceries. I would have had to DoorDash food every day, which I don't even necessarily believe in DoorDash. I think it's kind of a scam. But I would have had to do that. But instead, I had groceries here that I meal prepped. And I had lunch for every day this week. You know, I had food for every day this week. And I had a ride every day this week for work if I needed it, because my friends were working. And also my coworkers are amazing. They're like another family to me, a family away from my own family. My apartment manager, the maintenance man here, like, they've been amazing. And my gratitude for them through a challenging time for me is through the roof. I literally can't even begin to express the amount of gratitude that I have for everyone who helped me out through this time. So I think that is where we're going to end the message. I hope that you guys receive this well. And if you are going through something, just find the good. Look towards gratitude. Look at what you do have. Focus on what you can control. Focus on the good in your life. Focus on you building the trust within yourself. Focus on the fact that God got your back, because you're not left alone. You're not. No matter if you feel alone, no matter if it appears to be that you are alone, you're never alone. Never. And it took me so long to realize that. And I hope that one day, if you don't know that you realize that, and whatever it is that you are going through right now, if you are going through anything, or if you are thriving, I hope that you still understand that you're not alone. So I pray that whatever it is that you're going through, that you get through, and that you choose to have power over yourself and not give your power away to your situation. I pray whatever it is that you're going through, that you get through with ease and with grace, with love and support. So I also pray that you guys have the most amazing day ever, and I will see you on the next one.